Hi and welcome back to Classic MGB. Now today is a really special day. We're at the Goodwood Festival of Speed. Now it's taken us 3 hours to get into the site, so some might say it's the Goodwood Festival of Traffic, but let's see what's about. Now, the central sponsor of Goodwood Festival of Speed this year is MG. They're celebrating 100 years of MG with this fantastic sort of monument thing. It's got a Cyberster on one side and a lovely red MGB Roadster on the other. So next stop, the MG stand. Now I'm on the MG stand and I'm privileged to talk to a chap called Carl Gotham. Now, for those of you that don't know Carl is the chief designer and he actually designed the Cyberster. Carl, tell me a bit about the car.
Hi. Yeah, the car it's been a bit of a mission. It's taken about roughly 6 years to get to this position, to bring it to reality. Started life in about 2017 in the studio in the UK. And really we wanted to explore the opportunity of bringing an open-top sports car back to MG. Obviously, it's synonymous with the brand, so we need to sort of have the vision to create that. Obviously, it's electric, so it's very different to the MGs of old. But what that's given us is this really unique car, because we're the first brand in the world to have an open-top two-seater electric sports car. And what a great thing to say on our 100-year anniversary.
Absolutely. I mean, it has always been known as a mark of innovation, and I think there's a lot of negativity around the Chinese brand, but of course, a lot of it is actually UK designed.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I mean, we're a small team in London, but we're absolutely 100% passionate. There's so much passion for this brand and what we're trying to do. And of course, the world's changing. Things have changed a lot. Technology's changing. So actually, this is giving us the opportunity to do things like this and to do new things and to kind of make MG a household name again, and to create, events and stands and be at events like this. So I'm not quite sure why people would be complaining, to be honest.
Absolutely. I mean, it's quite interesting. The very early incarnations of MGs were, shall we say, the quality wasn't quite there, but it seems to have stepped up hugely, particularly with the new HS, the 4 and the Cyberster.
Yeah, completely. And I think that's something we've been working a lot on from our perspective. Obviously, with cars in Europe, it's very competitive. I think what you're seeing, obviously, in China, you've got a very new market. It's very innovative. It's very tech-driven. And it's also pushing the quality. The quality of the cars is exceptional there. SAIC has been making cars for 50 years plus, so it knows how to make cars. We're maturing and evolving and learning all the time, without a doubt. I mean, you can look and feel and drive this car. It's as good as things 3 times the price.
The other thing that people say is, my car's not Chinese. Well, of course, probably the batteries are made. A lot of the electronics is in China. One of the things that obviously classic MG drivers, they don't usually use their classic MGB for day to day. So to me, an MG is a fantastic choice. I mean, we've got an MG4 as my wife's car. She absolutely loves the thing.
Yeah, absolutely. MG's been this brand that's, we talk about accessible and authentic and this kind of thing. It's not a supercar, but it's got the impression, gives you that sort of elevated feeling at a sort of more affordable price. It gives you that real sense of occasion and theatre and exhilaration. Driving this thing is like sailing because you can't hear the engine, so you get just the wind and the environment. And Cecil Kimball is, of course, a big sailing fan, so maybe we're honouring that legacy a little bit as well, with the electric sort of version of Cyberster. So there's a very special thing here, which I think captures the spirit of what an MG is. But for today, for tomorrow, that's what's the important thing. We want this brand to live another 100 years, right? So we need to rethink what's happening.
Yes.
Things like the MG4 are really important because it's democratizing the EV experience. And again, MG was an experience brand. I often talk about it being the original user experience brand. We talk about user experience all the time, but MG was that. It was like a midget was, anybody could go and buy a midget and just have a great time in it. Just put a big smile on your face. This is the same principle. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you say it's not a supercar, but performance-wise,
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
I mean, if you...
It's a rocket, yeah.
Where do you start when you've got a blank sheet of paper designing something like that?
Yeah, I mean, it's I guess the sort of romantic story is, we just start sketching, but there's a lot of thought that goes and discussion goes into what we're trying to achieve, so that actually we start sketching the right things. The sketch is there to capture a character and a sort of expression that we're then using as, let's say, the manifesto of the end result, and we're trying to retain that character. But clearly it has to evolve. We've got to make it real. We've got feasibility and safety and engineering that has to go into it. So it's a very complex thing, but yeah, there's a lot of discussion about what's the opportunity, what do we want this to sort of feel like in a very abstract way. Yeah. But yeah, we are still using everything from a pencil sketch through to the digital modeling techniques and visualization, and we've got a lot more tools to help us to, let's say, make the design process more efficient, but also more rich and more vibrant.
Great, Carl. So I guess we should go and have a bit of a look at the GTS then.
Absolutely, why not? Yeah. Okay.
So Carl, here we are with this fantastic GTS. So talk us through it.
Yeah, so it's based on the Cyber. Obviously, we were just talking about the red car there. Big difference is it's got a hat on. So it's got a hard top, which is a fixed roof coupe. It's there to sort of represent a 2+2 package, so it's more practical. It's more akin to an MGB GT. So a bit more of a tourer, a bit more, putting more stuff in, driving down to Europe potentially, who knows. Something very elegant. The design of this as well is a little bit more, I guess it's a bit more easy. It's a bit more relaxed because you've got this sort of very laid back sort of position in terms of the way the car sits on its wheels. Yep. And I think that's really important for an MG. An MG is it's not aggressive or sort of like a thing that you need to race around in. You should be enjoying your journey and taking in your environment surroundings. So I think a car like this is absolutely perfect for doing that. Yeah,
I mean, we've got a GT ourselves. We're going to the Isle of Man with Richard and the MG Owners Club next week, and we're just about going to get everything in, what with the spares and things. But I guess you won't need too many spares. So much the same performance as the Cyberster?
Potentially, yeah. Obviously, it's based on the same. It's got the same floor plan, yeah. So the opportunities are there. It's still a concept at the moment, so we just want to put it here as part of the centenary celebrations, test people's reactions to it, which I have to say have been exceptional so far, and then let's see what happens next.
Absolutely. So a look to the future. I know designers are very sort of close. You keep things close to their chest because it's very important. I mean, this was a bit of a reveal this time, wasn't it? What can you tell us about what's coming out of MG in the future?
Well, I mean, it's a really exciting time. Design is obviously really important for brands, and I think as we're growing, design is also growing and becoming more significant in our organisation. It's giving us the platform to do things like the EXE concept, which again is a design piece, but it's also a bit of a demonstration of some technical innovation and spirit of MG's past with the EX cars. So we're paying some homage and tribute to that. That car, it doesn't necessarily speak to anything coming in the future, but there's a little bit of learning in there and let's say experimentation, which might be inspirational or it might be a catalyst for something else. But importantly, what we're doing is cars that are desirable and kind of people want them without the stigma of where's it come from, is it electric? It's like, actually, it looks great. Can I have it?
So two things I would say about it. It's designed in Britain.
Yes. Yeah.
And it is cost effective, which is one of the things I always thought MGs should be.
Absolutely. Accessibility is accessibility maybe not the right word, but accessible sports cars, or sporting cars. That's what we should be doing. Things that are giving an experience which feels good, puts a smile on your face. Those sort of things are a magic value to uphold and to continue with. The world's a very complicated place. There's a lot of pressure, stress in the world. I think MG is a brand that can help people to get away from that from time to time.
I couldn't have put it better myself, Carl. Thank you so much. Really appreciate your time. Now, I know classic MGB fans aren't necessarily that keen on the Chinese MGs, but this is the brand new HS. The HS has been a bit patchy in the past, but I have to say this new one, which is launched at the show, is very, very nice. If you look inside, it's very, very similar to our MG4. They really are moving up a grade in terms of quality. Now, there's all sorts of things at Goodwood Festival of Speed. There's cars, there's bikes, and there's this thing. I'm actually not entirely sure what it is, but it's some sort of aeroplane, boaty sort of thing. Something certainly futuristic anyway. Now, it being 2024, it's 30 years since the very famous Ayrton Senna died, and I'm really, really pleased that Mclaren are doing a special 30th anniversary celebration with his car. It is a fitting tribute to what must be one of the best ever Formula One drivers. Now, I've caught up with Paul Mountain. For those of you who didn't see, Paul actually got Romeo up the hill and right in front of the house. How was it, Paul?
Fantastic, absolutely fantastic, very exciting.
One of what, 6 classic MGs that you could sort of be in the procession with?
Yeah, there's 6 cars here that are represented MG this week, and I think we all really enjoyed the run. Yeah.
So how did you manage to get here? Were you invited, or did you sort of ask?
No, it was an invitational event. They wanted Romeo, and they got hold of me through one of the people through Facebook, actually, one of the authors of a lot of the books. And got invited, and obviously delighted to come here. We're here for another 3 days. I go up the hill twice each day, and I'm really looking forward to that. And we do the opening ceremony, or they call it the MG moment. It's absolutely buzzing here today. I'm loving it.
Now, you might be wondering exactly what the MG moment was that Paul was talking about, and we did too. It started with a procession of some of the iconic MG cars, including a 1931 MG C-Type, an MGA, an MG Metro 6R4, a Cyberster, and of course, the MGC GTS, better known as Romeo. Despite a large crowd doing its best to jog our cameras, we managed to get to the front to give you a grandstand view of the MG moment at Goodwood. So there you go, Festival of Speed 2024 as done by MG. I think it's absolutely brilliant that MG have chosen Goodwood Festival of Speed to celebrate 100 years and with a fantastic range of cars. If you've enjoyed the video, give it a like, give it a subscribe, and click the bell for notifications. That would be fantastic. As always, thanks for watching and take care.